If you've ever wanted to roleplay deeply as a demon summoning mage, then you might want to consider picking up the Sanguine Rose staff. Hey Ratbags, it's Jade with another Daedric Shrine quest today, and of course it is Sanguine, a quest that you have to be level 8 to begin. So if you head to Skingrad and to the north, maybe slightly west, you'll find the location of the shrine, just under the E in Imperial Reperve. This will require an offering and it's going to be some Cyrillic brandy. Now this is widely available in a bunch of different stores, but there is also some that you might find at Odile Farm on the way from Way to Coral. It might be one of the earliest missions you did, as you basically reclaim a farm from some Daedra, and that's how you end up getting Chillrend, which you might have heard about as a pretty legendary OP ice sword. Now the brandy itself, it's best to go and actually take it before you go and trigger the quest and meet up with the farmer's sons, because afterwards they'll be in their home and be pretty grumpy that you're stealing. So yeah, if you haven't done the Chillrend quest, go and trigger it by talking to their father, which you'll find in one of the taverns in Coral. Or as said, check out this farmhouse beforehand, or before you actually meet up with the sons, which will be outside the Waynham Priory, and then you'll be able to easily steal the actual brandy. Otherwise you can just simply buy, as I said, from traders, the gilded carafe and the main ingredient, Imperial City. And there's a variety of bottles that you'll find in certain homes in Bruma, Castle Skingrad, and also in Cloud Ruler Temple in the west wing up the stairs in the room on the left. So that's me just telling you, but I'm only obviously showing the traders or the farm, as I still think they're two of the easiest places to get some. Once returned to Sanguine, then you've got your actual mission, which comes the hard part. Be heading to Leywyn all the way into the south, head up to the castle or the county hall, and you've effectively got to disrupt a dinner table party and turn everyone there pretty much naked. Well, that will be the end result once you use the special spell given to you by Sanguine. You can go and talk to people if you really want, but you might notice a door on the right that will be locked. This is the dining room, so you can try and break in. In the morning, a guard will end up being posted out the front, and it doesn't matter when you go to this castle, despite it saying it's on a certain day or time. It's pretty much every night, I think, and you don't really need an invite to actually enter it either. If you time it just right, I think at 6 o'clock as they enter the room, the door will be open and you should be able to sneak past. Well, pretty much shoulder barge your way through. Obviously make sure you've got a save saved, because you may need to reload. If the guard does stop you from entering, you can get his disposition up to 70 plus and he should let you in. Or if you manage to procure an upper class outfit and plenty of jewellery, it'll assume that you are a noble person and be allowed entry too. What I did when I did actually manage to join, and I think actually it was probably a bit before 6, hence why it didn't maybe trigger the actual check to stop me. I ran down to the servants' quarters, had a little nosy, and then back up to the dining room. So you should only need to cast the spell on this one there, Countess Alessia, and all the rest of the guests should end up being naked. Previously I think you had to use the spell on all of them, maybe individually, or if it bugged out and they weren't naked, it wouldn't really do the job it was meant to. Again, there used to be some bugs that apparently you needed to actually cast a spell on this guest particularly to make sure it triggered if it wasn't working on the Countess. So if you have any problems, like I said, save obviously beforehand, reload, and try the spell on this one. So you won't have to worry about paying off any gold, but you may need to go to prison or decide to run for it. As you saw, the guests weren't happy and it's considered assault. You won't have any gear and you may have realised that you're also naked. So it's honestly up to you. There does seem to be more of a longer period that enemies will follow you. I literally ran all the way to my vampire hideout towards the southeast. But even if you're arrested, I'm pretty sure you'll still be naked when you emerge. That's because your gear and all your items are going to be in a chest where you triggered the Sanguine quest from the shrine. There are some things you can do to stop maybe this happening. You can try using an invisibility potion before the spell hits, so immediately cast it and then drink it. 100% chameleon when you cast the spell. And if you're doing this quite late in the day and you've got the Grey Cowl of Nocturnal, then unequipping it before the spell hits will do a similar job. In that respect, as soon as you put the cowl back on, it's considered almost a new character. And even when I did make it back to my vampire lair, I still had to kill this poor Leywind guard to actually get it to stop triggering so I could fast travel. So whatever way you do it, obviously running away, going ahead and doing some prison time, make sure you haven't got anything stolen on you. Although, as said, all of your gear should be in a chest as soon as you return to the shrine. Talk to the god first. The quest will complete, you'll be rewarded the Sanguine Rose, and it will tell you that all your gear is inside the chest. So, the Staff of Sanguine works like this. You aim it at an NPC or even a dead body, and it will summon a random Daedric entity. You can use this like most other summons as well if you're on your own to go ahead and try and trap the soul of the creature. It lasts for around 20 seconds and obviously it may start attacking enemies, making them obviously go attack you. It does also mean though that the Daedrics that get summoned, they will also want to kill you if they've got no one else to actually try and attack. But yeah, it's a good way to maybe get a high level soul cast. If you've got a bunch of hostile NPCs, just keep summoning it until you get a high level Daedra and then immediately cast a soul trap spell on it. You can still loot the creatures that are summoned, and that means you've got a chance of getting more rarer Daedric resources from them. And you might want to be careful because for some reason Joffrey, who I've been having tug along pretty much for my whole 25 hours of playing, seemed quite upset about me summoning this demon and wouldn't stop attacking me until I killed him, well, knocked him out, and then everything was okay. The staff will have 3,000 charge, or should do, and you'll get about 300 cost out of it, so that means you can use it probably 10 times before it needs reloading. And you do get an additional fame point for completing this one, so that's another use I guess. So there we go, a unique staff to add to your collection for completionists and all part of completing all the Daedric items. I am working for guides for every Daedric item, so make sure you're subscribed and watching for all sorts of other Oblivion content too, especially live streams where I record all of this footage. Until next time, Ratbags, laters.